morning, everybody. How are you? So, I hope you're having a wonderful day. One of my favorite tarot readers on YouTube, Neo Tarot, just posted a video where she's doing a reading on Chantal. And normally, when I react to Neo Tarot, I watch the video first, but today, Spirit told me don't do that because they're going to be giving me messages and a lot of them. And the way it usually goes, if you get messages from Spirit, they come at you really quick. And then later on, you don't remember what they told you. So I started watching a few minutes and Spirit said, no, don't do it that way. Just play the video and react as you go, and we'll give you the messages then. And so I'm going in, not watching it first. And I know it's going to be a great reading because Neo Tarot does awesome readings, not just on Foodie and Salah and Natter, but lots of other people, singers, celebrities. So I do recommend everybody to not only check out her original video and sub up to her and give her a like and comment, but also check out her other videos on other people because it's always a good time watching Neo. And Neo, you're always welcome on my channel to participate in the live streams and talk to me and talk to everybody there. You're always welcome there, ma'am. I love your fire. I love your sass. I love your honesty and your bluntness. I really, really enjoy your reading. So yeah, what to say about Chantal? So I did a reading on Chantal recently, and you guys that were part of that reading for the live, you heard what I had to say. The cards didn't have a lot of great things to say about Chantal and her situation. And those that watch her live videos and her videos, you can see there's a lot of struggle going on there. A lot of moments where she should be fighting for her life, and she's really not. She is just, in a word, stagnant. She's very stagnant in everything. There's a lot of stillness. There's a lot of non-movement when there should be movement. So I don't know what Neo Tarot's reading is going to say, but we're going to find out, won't we? So let me just go ahead and pull up the video. And again, I encourage everyone to check out Neo Tarot if you have a moment. Before I begin, though, I would like to talk to you guys about something that I feel is important. That if you're someone and you're looking to discover yourself or heal yourself or find out what's going on with you, you want to take some soul inventory, I really recommend doing some shadow work. So what exactly is shadow work? Well, a lot of people do shadow work. Sometimes they don't even know they're doing shadow work. So what is the definition of shadow work? Shadow work is a type of psychotherapy that focuses on the parts of the psyche that people often keep hidden, such as trauma and resentment. Some people may refer to this as the shadow self. The psychoanalyst Carl Jung first developed the concept. So how do you practice shadow work? How to start it? You can decide if you seek therapy or do shadow work on your own. Practice spotting your inner shadow. Think back to your childhood. Avoid shaming or being ashamed of your shadow. Meditate to observe your triggers. Keep a shadow journal. Express your inner shadow artistically. Start an inner dialogue. Okay. Let's see. How do I know my shadow? How do I know my shadow? One of the best ways to identify your shadow is to pay attention to your emotional reactions towards others. Surely, your colleagues may be aggressive, arrogant, inconsiderate, or impatient, but if you don't have those same qualities within you, you won't have a strong reaction to their behavior. So there's a lot that goes into shadow work. If you guys want to look up what shadow work is and how to do it and how to work on yourself, you can certainly do that on your own. Why am I bringing this up? Because I've been doing a lot of shadow work. I'm still going through it. And I will say when it comes to the shadow work, it's going to be very hard. It's going to be very difficult. It may be very painful, but it is beneficial to healing yourself, helping yourself, understanding yourself inside and out. So it's going to be one of the most difficult things you can do for yourself to really search your soul. but the rewards will be immense because you'll be more at peace. You will be more content with yourself. And if you're experiencing moments of feeling upset or disturbed, maybe you might alleviate some of those. So let's get into the reading itself. That's just something that I wanted to add in there before we get into it. Okay, so let me just bring up her reading. One moment, please. Okay, so there's the reading. And I look forward to what you have to say, Neo. So let's go, let's go.
It's alleged and for entertainment purposes. Sometimes the tea is hot and sometimes it's not. You have to watch the video to the end to determine for yourself. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're always here, welcome back, friend. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Okay, so I always tell you guys, I keep it real. I hear things when I'm doing tarot readings, and it's just like the message that I'm hearing. And I respect the message, and I say it just so that, the vibration is, I feel it, I hear it, I speak it, right? Okay.
Right.
So and then I hear songs like I do, and I'm not even trying to be out here trying to get a record deal. I'm just going to do what I need to do.
I don't know if that's a common thing when you are somebody spiritual or you're a tarot reader, but that happens to me too, Neo. It happened in my tarot reading with Chantal. I kept hearing songs in my head and I would just tell the audience what the song bits were. I don't know why. Maybe that's an easy way for spirit to communicate with us, is to do it through a song. Maybe there is something relatable about the song that relates to the subject at hand. But you get songs in your head, girl. I get that too. It's like, why am I thinking of this song? I've not been listening to this song. It's a thing, I guess, when you're a tarot reader.
To respect the gift, okay? So what is the song about? She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming round the mountain. I mean, listen, it was like the most annoying tune on playback as I was getting.
Could that song basically hint at the fact that either she wants to come home or she is coming home? She's been quiet for the last couple of days, and she has a visa run that she needs to do really soon. Everybody was saying that she's going to be coming home in April. Maybe she's coming home early, or maybe she's thinking about coming home. So maybe that's what the song is in reference to.
Getting the decks. I'm like, what is this about? So we'll find out, here soon enough. All right, but did I already say this is alleged? Because it is. Okay. And for entertainment purposes, Spirit is acknowledging that she does have a big heart and is full of passion. And Spirit says, bless your heart, in fact. Almost like, bless your heart. Because she
Oh no, not bless your heart. Why am I laughing? Because I'm from Florida and I have a Southern family. And if you are an adult talking to another adult and that person says to you, bless your heart, it's not a kind, polite thing. It's if you're Southern, it's such a polite way of throwing shade. Well, bless your heart. Aren't you adorable? That's just funny that the card said that right off the bat.
wants that relationship so bad, right? It's a very intense desire. But at the heart of it, she just ends up getting friendship. There is an energy of appreciation, devotion, worthiness, caring, but it's just playful teasing. It doesn't go beyond that, right? And Spirit said that this energy is drowning. It's not just her, but it drowns anyone that she is able to lure into her emotional abyss, okay? With this water sign energy here, could be a water sign and or could just be emotional. But it's not just the victim, quote unquote, that feels this intense.
Okay, I get Neo. Whenever I interrupt you, I always feel bad because I know when you get going, and I'm a polite person. I hate to interrupt people. But can I tell you what I'm being told right now? Chantal, I don't think she knows how to feel proper love, healthy love, equal measure for equal measure. She equates love with toxicity. You know, like her love is very toxic because it's very self-serving, self-gratifying, one-sided. Like I'm giving you a bunch of material things, so therefore you are obligated to give me this emotional thing. Like she thinks one thing is payment for another. And when it comes to real emotion, when it comes to connection, you don't pay for those. Those are free when they're real. But I don't think she knows how to do it things that way. I don't think she understands, or if she does, she knows that the way she is right now, because she does not have the capacity to love, because she doesn't want to learn how to love properly and respect people and respect a soul's free will and choice and real feelings. She's very pushy, pressury about, I'm going to push my will and my feelings upon you, whether you like me or not, whether you love me or not. I want what I want. So if I give you a little bit of something, then you better give me a lot of something different in return. But I'm looking at that card, Sweet Tooth, and this is what it's hitting me between the eyes. The alligator with the candy cane in its mouth. And the alligator is a predatory animal. And she is, in many respects, a predatory person. So here's this alligator offering a candy cane. Like, I've got something sweet for you, even though I'm a dangerous animal. You know, there's an old story. There's different variations of it. One of them is the frog and the scorpion. And I'll condense the story. A frog and a scorpion were on the side of a river. The scorpion wanted to get to the other side of the river but could not swim. So the frog, having a generous heart, decided to help out the scorpion by helping it across the river, letting the scorpion ride on its back. So the scorpion hopped on. The frog swam it across the river. When they got across the river, the scorpion stung the frog. And the frog looked at the scorpion and said, "Why did you do that? I just helped you." And the scorpion said, "Well, you knew what I was when you brought me over here." That's Chantal. She is what she is. She does what she does, but she's a predatory person. And yet she'll swim to somebody, hiding most of herself in the water where you can't see, with a candy cane in her mouth, offering as if she's going to give you something and there's going to be no price to pay afterwards. So that's just something that's jumping out at me right now. That is the perfect representation of who and what she is right now. She's predatory, and she's got ill intentions and ill will, but she tries to cover that up and mask it by coming off as being generous and good-hearted and loving, when the actual truth is she isn't. And why? Because she doesn't know how to properly love and understand that if a person doesn't want you and if they don't love you, there's nothing you can do about it. That's not the right person for you. She wants what she wants, and she doesn't want to hear the word no.
Emotion, and is caught up in this intense battle to swim, to stay afloat. It's also herself. She's also drowning within herself. Does that make sense? Okay, so there's energy of hankering, temptation, like luring someone out, offering them something, hankering and temptation, and then luring them out into the deepest depth of her life, her emotions, and they physically just can't keep up, right? There's adder, intimacy, proposal, and a message of love. But it never goes past playful teasing. And Spirit said God doesn't like ugly. In regards to this formula that she has, this pattern that she set, God doesn't like ugly. There's nastiness, clash, strife, resentment, argument, spite, grudge, and revenge. And it's a constant battle. It's a constant fight. And Spirit said at this point, because of this battle, because of this fight, because you won't take heed, there's this water here again, and it keeps talking about bodies of water, bodies of water. There's mountains in the background, but the boat equals direction for me. It's standing still, it's stalled. And the stall is on purpose. There is a objective to this, and it is for her to see her reflection, to take accountability and responsibility for how she got here, how all of this came to be. And
well, Chantal's pattern, she's got a formula for keeping people around her, and it's not a healthy formula, Neo. It's actually a very toxic formula. And yet, even though she doesn't get what she wants, she doesn't take the lesson and say, well, I guess this didn't work. Maybe I need to change myself. Maybe that would make a difference. She wants to stay exactly as she is and keep using this formula. So she keeps repeating the same patterns and getting the same result, which results in the same kind of misery. She's deluding herself into thinking, I can be how I am now. I can continue to be negative and toxic and not working on myself and not growing in any way. And I can stay this way. I don't have to do any kind of work. And yet I am going to get some kind of positive reward. But you can't get positive reward if you're not a positive person doing truly sincere, genuine, positive, honest actions. Does that make sense? You can't live in a pond of negativity and look around for the positive fish in it. There won't be any. In order to, to change the environment, you got to change yourself. It starts with you.
And I feel like that's has to go dive deeper into childhood wounds and healing your past trauma and dealing with your shadow self, right?
Oh my God. I told you guys, I didn't watch the reading. I didn't watch it. I swear I didn't watch it. And I just talked about shadow work. And now Neo's talking about it. Neo, are we on the same page today or what? Let me just turn off my phone. I don't want to be interrupted. Sorry. Hate it beeping at me. It's distracting. But it's amazing. You're talking about shadow work and I just talked about it.
But spirit is acknowledging like there's purpose in this. And that's the wonderful thing about the universe, spirit, guides, self, human, like being in this physical realm, is that we keep trying. We're very determined. But is it for good or for bad? That's the thing. And spirit says she needs to be quiet around this energy. Like if you're going to do whatever you're doing, you need to be quiet. You're putting out too much information. Okay, that's number one. But number two, you have no discretion. There's very little privacy, and it's too much. It's too much, like too much to be seen, too much to be looked in upon. And even your ancestral team is like, close your mouth, like just be quiet. And
you don't know how to be quiet. That's her problem. She don't know how to be quiet. She don't know how.
And they're telling her to be quiet about something that is coming because she's going to be crying out. And like, shh, you're so loud. But she's going to be crying out. This energy is just acknowledging. She just doesn't listen. And there's something that she's upset about. She's yelling. She's screaming at the universe, screaming at ancestors, screaming at the highest vibrating source. She's upset because someone who was once loyal is no longer loyal. And it's a dead end at this point. It's a dead end. And so she's like, stalemate. There's nowhere else to move.
Oh.
You got stalemate here, you got a stalemate here. There's nowhere else to go. And so you have to shift your perspective in regards to what is going on in your life, right? Chantal.
No, I've said in my reacts to Neo and in my life, like if you have put yourself in a position, as Chantal has, where like she spent years just putting herself in corners, but she always found a way to pivot herself out just a little bit. And Chantal is the kind of person, she's not going to change unless she's forced to change. She's stubborn as a mule, our girl. Stubborn and prideful. Those two things are she's in her own way. She's her own worst enemy. She's so focused on what's going on YouTube and people talking about her. And she doesn't take anything that anyone has to say and really think about it, reflect on it, and do that shadow work and improve herself, she's thinking that she's always right. Well, if that's the case, Chantal, if you're right, how come your life is so wrong? How come everything in your life is so wrong and so painful and so miserable? If you're going through things in life that they hurt you, they're causing you pain, they're causing you misery, you're feeling that pain for a reason. And it's not because the ancestors that you might have want you in pain. It's not because the spiritual world wants you in pain. They have nothing to do with your pain. We as people, we are all souls having a human experience. We are put here to learn, to experience, to grow, and you decide your own experience. But if you go through things that hurt you, if you're going through, you're around people, you're in an environment that's painful, that pain is a road sign letting you know if this is hurting, whatever it is, you need to fix it. You need to pay attention to it. You need to focus on it. You need to reflect on it. So she's put herself in a position where she's surrounded by pain, and yet she will not stand still, take accountability and responsibility, self-reflect, surrender to the universe and say, I did this to myself. I did it. Just stand still, surrender to the universe, to truth, and to honesty and sincerity. And if she let down her guard and her facade and her demeanor, she would start to grow. But her biggest issue is that she never admits when she's wrong. She doesn't even admit that she's wrong to herself. She runs from the truth, and yet the truth is what would set her free.
Okay, we do see a woman carrying a basket here. And baskets represent emotion as well, like a cup, like on the tarot cups. And it's full with flowers. And so she's very emotional about love, trying to bear love, trying to bring love, trying to harvest love. Spirit that says, Abrewa, the Akan Ghana. Abrewa sacrificed her own life for the well-being and prosperity of her offspring. She is celebrated because she fed her children by any means necessary. Instead of a space that we inhabit for survival, Abrewa asks us to reimagine necessary as a trope that propels us toward a path of abundance. Abundance is our legacy. So this card is requesting for her to focus in on what is necessary. What are you willing to give your life up for? You're laying your life on the line for what? For who? Is it necessary? Is you pouring your heart and soul into a person or an object or a thing? Is it really fulfilling? Is it necessary? This card is asking her to ask that question to herself. What is necessary? Okay.
Well, you know what? It's that card coming up. It's for Chantal. It's quite serious. I mean, some people say, I'm laying my life on the line for you. And sometimes they mean it. Sometimes it's literal. Sometimes it's metaphorical. Chantal is literally laying her life on the line for all the wrong reasons. Like sacrificing 100% of her health, sacrificing the chance to become better for the sake of her foolish pride and her vanity and a man that doesn't even love her. And she's the only one that can turn things around. And if she continues on the path that she's on, it's going to lead to an ultimate end. But she's got to make that decision whether she wants a life or she doesn't want a life. But she's sacrificing herself. She has sacrificed herself for reasons that are not even honorable, for foolish things, foolish people. It's a shame.
What is it? Because currently it feels like you're pouring into something that is constantly empty because there's a hole at the bottom. Okay, Chantal, Foodie Beauty. What's the tea? Okay, be careful. They both look the same. Salt or sugar looks can be deceiving. And so you're being deceived. Are you being deceiving as well? You've been deceived. Spirit says game over. It keeps saying stalemate, game.
Right? Didn't I say that in my reading that I did on Chantal? Dude, it's over. Chantal, Neo and I are two different tarot readers. We don't talk on the personal. We're not on the phone. She can confirm that. We're far apart from each other, but yet isn't it funny that two tarot readers doing readings on you were coming up with the same thing? My cards kept saying the last time, this thing between you and Salah, it's over. It's over, but the crying and the paperwork, if there is any paperwork, it's over. There's nothing left. There's nothing left to grab onto, hold on to, hope for. It's over. And yet you won't let go. And that is the problem. You are not willing to walk through that door, shut it behind you, and keep walking. You're insisting on hanging on to somebody that he's not attached to you. He wants to move. He wants to live. You don't. You don't want to go out and live. You don't want to be happy. He wants to be happy. So you both have different points of view and objective about how you want to spend your time on this earth. And there's so much misery there. And yet you won't walk. Why are you hanging on to the misery? It makes no sense. I said in my last tarot reading, when you're hanging on to someone or something that is not meant for you, it's like holding on to a toxic teddy bear filled with battery acid. And the more you hug it to you, the more it's going to burn you, the more it's going to hurt you, it's going to be painful. And the pain is not going to stop until you let it go. It's better to have your arms empty than filled with something that makes no sense, that is nothing but pain personified. But yet Chantal, with that teddy bear, she's one of those people that she's like, I don't want it, but I don't want anybody else to have it. Because if somebody else gets it, then I feel like I've lost something. And that was once mine. Well, if you've got something in your possession or someone in your possession that they're painful for you, it's meant for somebody else. It's not meant for you. It's not. Spirit is screaming at Chantal, you need to get away from this idea of attaching yourself to people. You need to work on yourself. You need the most work. You need the most focus. I know that Chantal likes to put down people who are single. She makes a big deal of being in a relationship with a man and saying, where's your man? Using that as a bragging point. But sometimes being alone can be very healing, very beneficial, because you can focus on yourself. You can do that shadow work. You can self-reflect with no distraction. It can be a wonderful time if you let it be. But she's not willing to do that.
Over heartbreak, hotel. This is the
Uh-oh.
And you're trying to stand your ground and you're up for battle. What are you fighting for? Are you fighting for this love? Are you fighting someone? Seriously, there's something else in the middle of the deck.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
Girl, what? What?
Spirit said the marriage contract is broken. This could be divorce or breaking of a contract because he's keeping somebody else a promise. It's got you in there in your feelings, feeling very betrayed, deceit, backstab, traitor, not to be trusted, and sending you into a rage. Now, remember that dog was yelling out at the universe, yelling out at source, upset, angry because someone who was loyal is no longer loyal. This kind of feels like it's resonating, like it's just a repeating theme, and you're angry because you don't have the control that you want. The control that you seek. And people get to make their own choices, right? You can't take.
Yeah, she's a bit of a narcissist. As a matter of fact, let me rephrase that. She's more than a bit of a narcissist. Very strong narcissistic traits. I'm not here to diagnose Chantal with any kind of anything mental or emotional. Only a therapist would know that. But she's very narcissistic. And if you're with or involved with or around a narcissistic person, a lot of times they're control freaks. They like to control people. It gives them a sense of power. It makes them feel strong to control you, to have you around, to make you feel lesser than themselves, to make you feel like a fan or an admirer. They have to be the one on top of the mountain. And so they will gather people underneath them while they stand at the peak. So they can stand there alone and bask in the sun and block the sun from everybody else. But if there was a marriage contract or agreement with Chantal, and there's been talk before from somebody else around who knows Salah, that there was an agreement with Chantal that was going on for a year, and that agreement has ended. Supposedly a year-long project. So if that's over, if there was an agreement between Salah and Chantal, and that agreement is over, just because it's over, it doesn't mean a true betrayal. It was just two people working together for financial reasons or whatever reasons, and it's over now. Done, finished. No more obligations there. But of course, on the emotional front, she's going to take that as, you're betraying me because you don't want to stick around and you're the worst. And, she's going to spin it like she's the victim, like somebody has hurt her. And if she's feeling that emotional upset, that gives her a reason to rage, even though the other person may or may not have done something wrong. She's going to justify her anger and her emotions, even though she may be completely in the wrong for what she feels.
Take choice from people. So what is she doing in return? She's doing candle magic. Okay. That's just what Spirit says. In the dark of night, she is doing what she wants to do. And this is really interesting because I know you guys have told me that she's like in Kuwait, but this has a very Arab looking like structure here. But yeah, speak your breath into this velvet, recite along its spine, all that you desire, all that which will unravel. And every time I do a reading on her, I always get that she dibbles and dabbles in the brouhaha.
Thank you for bringing that up, Neo. You're right. The last reading you did, there were strong indicators that she's doing something that, in my opinion, she should not be doing. When you dabbling in magic or rituals of any kind is dangerous. Dangerous. If you don't know what you're messing with, it's dangerous. And there's a lot of people that don't practice magic, and I respect that. Everybody has different beliefs. Whatever you believe in, whatever you connect to, that's for you. Everybody's attracted to different things. Those of you that are on my channel, I've made mention of this in my tarot readings. My background, like I consider myself spiritual, but I like to study up on different beliefs and religions and spirituality, just so I can be more respectful of people when I find out their beliefs. I've done some studying on people who are Buddhists. My background is I was initiated as a witch in a coven many years ago. And I was on my way to becoming the high priestess of a coven, but it never happened. The coven broke up. But I've also studied up on Santeria, just different things of that nature, because I want to have respect, not necessarily because I want to practice. And magic or rituals of any kind, it has to do with energy, like the energy involved, the what's the word I'm looking for? The intention. Thank you, Spirit. The intention behind what you do. What is your intention? What energy do you have? What energy are you pushing out into the universe? What are your wishes, and what's behind the wishes? If you wish for something good and you put action behind it, then it will more than likely happen. But if you have negative intention and negative energy, then certainly that negative energy is going to come back to you. And Chantal, at this point in time, I feel she does not have good intention. She does not have good energy. She's very troubled. She's very stressed. She's very angry. That's very dark energy. So if you have very, very dark energy, and if you're doing something with malicious or selfish, self-centered intention, that's bad. And that's why it's dangerous for her to dabble. She's played around before with the Ouija boards. She was being very disrespectful to tarot cards. Y'all remember, and that got me angry. Like, don't pick up any more cards, Chantal. Stop it. But if Chantal, if you're dabbling in anything, you need to stop. Your life is already troubled, and you're bringing in more trouble. If you're doing rituals or candle magic where you're wishing for love from Salah, you're trying to push your will onto his will using some kind of magic rituals, stop it. Stop it. Incorrect. Even as someone that I'm an initiated witch, if someone came to me and said, can you do a ritual for me or a love spell where somebody falls in love with me, I would tell them no, because that goes against the other person's will. Now, I can do a ritual for somebody where I can wish love for that person, like a general love spell, because love can take many forms. You know, like maybe the love you want is not the love you need. Maybe instead of loving another person and pushing all of your energy towards that, maybe you need to love yourself, and that would help you more. Or maybe being so focused on somebody, that's not the right person. But if you say, I want more love to come in my life, you may find somebody different that is actually the one you're supposed to be with. Love can take the form of a new friendship or a business partner. I mean, it can come at you in 1,000 ways. But it's interesting, Neo, that you're bringing up the fact that she's doing something, and that might be the reason why she's going through some of the turmoil that's going on, because she's trying to, sorry, this is the word that keeps popping in my head. She's trying to prostitute the spiritual world. She's trying to whore it out and make it do her bidding. You know, trying to just use it to her advantage. And you can't do that with the spiritual world. It does what it does, but it does what it does when you are the soul and you put the energy forth, and then the energy comes back to you. Like what you put out is also returned to you. So Chantal, if you are dabbling in anything, if you're doing rituals, mama, stop it. Stop it. Salah does not want you. The life that you're leading in Kuwait is painful. The spirits are screaming at you to get away from him, to get out of that environment, to go home, to fix yourself. That is the message over and over again. That's the message. You don't want to hear it. You want to keep pushing your will onto somebody else. And all that's going to lead to is more misery until you finally figure out you just can't get your way in everything.
And this is again confirmation. Spirit is acknowledging that there's something else in the middle of the deck. And so I'll get the deck here in a second, because I feel like there's something else I need to say. But yeah, when you put your intentions out into the universe, it's important that your manifestations bring positivity, right? Because likeness attracts likeness. But
right.
when you put out negativity and it, you know, if the universe responds, if it does it, there's this energy of likeness attracts likeness. And so you putting your energy to wish someone negativity only brings you more negativity, does it not?
Yeah, that's that. In Wicca, there's a threefold rule. Whatever you put out into the universe, you get back 3 times. And if it's negative, 3 more. That's why you should always be careful with your thoughts, your words, your actions, because we as people, we're always putting out our energies. If you do good things, if you're a good person, you're radiating that kind of energy, and it affects not just yourself, but others around you. But if you're constantly negative with yourself, with others, with the things you say and the things you do, like attracts like, you will attract that which is most like you. And sometimes the people that you attract into your life, if they're a negative, if you're a negative person dealing with another negative person, sometimes that negative person, that negative experience, it's there to teach you an important life lesson. Sometimes that other person might just be a reflection of yourself. They might have qualities about themselves that are really qualities about you. So if you don't like that person and what they do, maybe they're just reflecting back to you what you are. And that's a time to sit still, reflect, and self-reflect and say, am I that way? Do I behave like that? Wow, that's awful. And learn. Gotta learn.
Okay. In the middle of the deck, what we're not seeing though is there is an energy that every time you do this negative energy, there is a healer amongst whomever you're spewing your intentions towards, and this healer comes through full moon energy, making you face your enemies, your anxiety, your truth. It's coming out regardless of whether you want it to or not. But the healer comes and it listens as the medicine bleeds through her teeth, a river of mercy blessed by mother, seen only by those who hold her mirror. Okay? She mirrors you. You see yourself. But she heals those whom you wish to put harm.
Okay, the word that came to mind right then and there, Neo, is guardian spirit. So is there a guardian spirit around Chantal? Not necessarily protecting her, but just protecting other people from her, like trying to shield some of that really dark, strong energy. I don't know, but just that's the word that came to mind, guardian spirit, because she is putting out a tremendous amount of negative energy. And if she's over there doing dark magic with dark intention, and she's just hurting people all over the place, maybe there might be a spirit around her saying, no, I'm not going to let that happen. Maybe the healer spirit works both ways. It's there for her to heal her when she's ready to be healed, but at the same time protecting others from the harm that she can do.
Does that make sense? So it doesn't matter what you put out there. They're protected. Ashe. All right, Foodie Beauty, Chantel's current energy around income, around finances. Spirit says stop overspending.
Wow.
On the bottom of the deck, Spirit says time to take things to the next level. Level up. And this is the second time Spirit says move in silence.
The spirits keep telling her the same thing, don't they, Neo? They're telling her to shut up. Just shut up. I'm getting a song in my head, Neo, right now. The Sound of Silence by Art and Garfunkel. Hello, darkness, my old friend. It's time to talk to you again. Interesting. So if she's dwelling in her shadow self, her dark shadow self, maybe she needs to talk to her darkness and start up an inner dialogue or a conversation. And at the same time, stay silent while she's doing that shadow work if she chooses to do it.
Move in silence, and especially around your finances. Sending you love and light. It's just a recurring theme. It's repetitive. Okay? Thank you, Spirit. So we do get Obe Ogunda, Courage is the fuel that will take you where you want to be. I do see a sword making me feel like air sign energy. Okay, so the keywords on this card are courageous and audacious, always searching for the new, hard worker, helpful and willing, carries an eternal desire for conquest.
Oh,
Carries
Lord.
an eternal desire for conquest.
Wow. That's Foodie. That is so her. Looking for the next conquest. And that's, in my opinion, that's how she feels about the men in her life. She's always going after what she can't have, what is unobtainable. If she hears the word no, she takes that as a challenge. Like, oh, yeah, you don't want me, you don't like me. Well, we'll see. I'm going to circumvent your natural, true desires. And I'm going to make you have me around anyway. I'm just going to toss some money or whatever at you, and you're going to be seduced by that. And then that sucks you into my web. And before you know it, you're all wrapped up in the silk, and I'm sucking you dry. She is the proverbial black widow spider. And black widow spider females kill the males after mating. Like the males come to the web, they mate with the female, and more than likely they don't make it out alive. The female takes their life. And that's so reminiscent of Chantal. She'll suck the lifeblood out of anybody that gets near her, whether it's a man, a woman, even a pet. There's not a single thing with a heartbeat that's been around Chantal that can say, I was made better for knowing her. She's so toxic for herself, toxic for anybody that tries to care for her. And she needs to course correct with that. Maybe if she did, she'd actually find real love.
Wow. Okay, so this basically is acknowledging that there's very little to nothing that will prevent you from putting into practice what you want. The intensity of your feelings and your sense of confidence makes it seem that nothing is as difficult as people say, giving you the necessary dynamism to conquer the impossible, transforming the reality around you according to your wishes, whatever the cost. So you're going balls to wall, whatever the cost. You don't care what it costs. You say, I can't do it, I'm doing it.
Right. She's got the determination and she's got the will. She's just been using both of those things in the wrong way with the wrong people. Instead of applying it to herself, she applies it to everything else but her. Hence the reason why she's so much in misery.
But why? For what?
You know, if Chantal went balls to the wall with her own life, imagine what she could do if she just stopped acting all the way the fool and all this foolishness and nonsense and, forgive my language, Neil, fuck shit. She's involved in fuck shit. And she surrounds herself with the same. If she just stopped, stood still, faced herself, worked on herself, take that balls to the wall attitude, that determination, and turned it inside out and made it work for her, what she could do for herself.
For what? Who are you trying? What are you trying to prove? I don't know. I do see a lot of red, letting me know that you need to get grounded. I do see green because this has to do with the heart chakra. This card also acknowledges that it is time for you to roll up your sleeves and act on a practical reality. Yeah. It wants you, thank you, Spirit. It wants you to dedicate yourself to you fully.
Yep.
And forget about money, and that money is the only good we can really enjoy. That's not true. It really wants you to direct all your energy into your plans and dreams that you've postponed seeking money, and maintain a balance between search, conquest, and delight. I love this oracle deck. Okay.
It is a beautiful deck, Neo, I must say.
Boom. What in the world is haunting Chantel? Like, what's going on with her shadow self? Why? It just feels like she has such a karmic debt from a past life that she cannot see the forest through the trees. So what is that? What does her karmic debt energy look like? it feels like she's got she's got some energy that she brought with her. And I don't know if you guys believe in that or not, but I'm going to say it anyway. Boo hag.
Uh-oh.
Fear tactics and discipline are issues for her. There are essentially two ways to look at it. Are you the monster in this scenario threatening others in order to browbeat them into compliance? Or are you at the other end of the story in a situation where someone else is threatening you with fear tactics? If there is an aspect of this manipulative pattern taking place in your life, step back and try to understand the root of the conflict. Again, that's why I picked up this deck. What is at the root of her issues, right? The air is being sucked from the room. Are you the one doing it, or are you the one left gasping?
She's the one doing it. I don't know about her past life. That's for her to know. And that's for her to maybe find out in her shadow work if she chooses to do it. But she's the one taking the oxygen out of the room with every person she's around, with her people that are her family, anybody that tries to be a friend, anybody that she's romantically involved with or tries to get involved with. She's the boo hag. And one thing I know about dealing with people, and this goes back to like attracts like. So if you're a good person, you're doing good things, and you have good energy, you will attract the same. You might have good spirits that help you with things you want to do, but all of us, were like magnets. You attract that which is most like you, or like physically, or even spiritually. So the first thing that came up in my mind, Neo, is Chantal being such a powerfully negative person right now. She might be attracting or has attracted negative spirits that are around her just for that reason. And so she might be a bull hag that might have a bunch of negative spirits attached to her at the same time.
Ask yourself what can be learned from this fear. So she's definitely brought a lot of fear from her past life trauma. And hence why I said at the beginning, she's dealing with some childhood trauma. Shadow work would be essential for this to get to the bottom of it. But it definitely has to do with her body. And this could be taking the blow of her fear tactic and or wanting to control because she has an issue from the past that she's unable to release. She's sucking the air sign energy, second time, out of the room because of her own issues. All right. Chantal, thank you. All right, we do get the Seven of Blades. And the Seven of Blades is in reverse. So there is an energy of her being disorganized and full of paranoia. On the bottom of the deck, due to her addictions with the devil, due to her bad habits, her obsessions.
Overindulgence. That's the word that just came into my head. Overindulgence, way overindulgence, excess, all of it.
Having mental health issues, even. I mean, look how reckless this person is. They're going down the wrong way on a one-way street.
Yeah.
People are looking. There's stop signs everywhere. She's not paying attention. She's got one hand full of money, looking back because that's her focus, right? And Spirit said with the Seven of Coins in reverse, everything that she's worked so hard for, all the money that she's, recouped up to this point is just coming out. It's just falling out. The foundation is crumbling, but even all your hard work, all the things that you've done.
Y'all remember the tarot reading I did? Did I or did I not pull the Ace of Cups in reverse? So the money flowing in, it's flowing out. Like there's the two of us, Neo Tarot, myself, pulling the same cards. And she's broke, or she's going broke. Like the money is just not flowing, and it's her fault because she's not working on herself, and she's in a situation that she will not leave. So the spirits are once again saying, to make you, we got to break you. We got to break you down. We've got to take things away from you. We got that negative, toxic tower that you're living in, that you've built from the ground up with very shaky stones. It's got to come down. That building cannot stand. It's got to come down. Every stone has to be removed to build up something that's strong. Can't leave one stone unturned. It's all got to go. So in Chantal's position, she's on YouTube, that she's got a lot of issues. She's got a lot of addictions, but as long as she's got funding for all of it, she's going to continue to overindulge. She's going to continue to avoid working on herself and working on her issues and her shadow self. Like that safety net is avoidance. As long as she's enabled, she can avoid the work on herself, on her life, because that safety net, that parachute, stops her from hitting the ground like she really, really needs. So Spirit says, to make you, we got to break you. To make you, to give you a chance, we got to take it all away from you. We got to stop. We got to break through that safety net. We got to tear a hole in it.
Are just falling out. They're just at the wayside. You have nothing to show for it.
No. Nope.
Nothing to show for it.
Nope.
Hey. Thank you, Spirit. With the Hierophant, Spirit keeps acknowledging that you need to go and seek counsel, but you're refusing. You don't want it.
Nope.
You need to get some kind of help, but you're refusing. You
Yep.
don't want it. With the Ace of Wands in reverse, you don't want it because you're hesitant. And you feel a sense of delay, obstacles. With Judgment in reverse, you're not ready to see yourself.
Nope.
You don't even want to accept the help. Like,
Nope.
Spirit just keeps saying that. And they're getting...
Yeah, and you know what? The thing is, Chantal, here's part of her pattern. So she wants love. She wants a relationship. She wants a partner in life, even though she's making her health worse. And anybody who's looking to be in a relationship with someone, you want to be with someone that you know they're going to be there for quite a while. You want to know that your emotion and your connection and your energy is going into somebody, and that person is going to be your life partner that you can spend the rest of your life with. But how can you do that when you're looking at someone that doesn't care about their health, that continuously hurts their health, and at any moment they could end up in the hospital or in a casket? Nobody wants to get started down that road and fall in love with somebody that they're going to end up burying maybe a week later, a month later, a year later. You know, like that, people get involved with other people that they feel a connection with, that they feel love for, that's their best friend. You know, you want to invest yourself in a person that's going to be there for you. You don't want to be with someone that you're always going to have to show up for and be there for, and you end up being their crutch and get absolutely no return for. So she wants love, or she says she does, and yet she's not feeling true love right now. She doesn't love herself. She doesn't really love the guys that she's with. They are just simply her obsessions and distractions, so she doesn't have to work on herself. So she gets with a guy. She makes a bunch of promises. I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to get better. And the other person may or may not wait. But if they choose to wait, she'll keep making the promises. She'll keep saying the pretty words. But then over the course of time, that person figures out, I'm dealing with somebody that has no interest in becoming better at all. And they get exhausted and tired and stressed out, and they leave because they make the decision at some point, I've got to live for me. And this person has taken all the oxygen out of the room. I feel suffocated. I can't live, I can't be happy, and I refuse to be miserable with this person. It's not worth it. That is a pattern with her. That whoever it is, they make the decision to walk away because they have to. You can reach a place personally inside of yourself where you look at yourself and you look at the other selfish person and you say, I have nothing more to give you, and there's nothing more that you can take from me. So to say what little bit I have of myself, I've got to leave so I can rebuild. And so they do. And then the other person, if they're narcissistic and selfish, they look at that as betrayal because you're not doing what they want. You're no longer under their control. And that's how they feel strong. And without you being around, they feel weak. Rather than work on their own strength so they can always have it, they lean too hard on other people. And it's clingy, it's insecure, it's jealous, it's controlling, it's hateful. But the person who's the narc does not see it that way. They always want to keep their foot on your neck. And so it is with Chantal. And so for a while she has phony companionship, but then she finds herself alone because she just doesn't simply seem to understand that she is the problem. She's completely the problem. And yet she doesn't want to fix the problem so she can have true love and true companionship.
Giving you ample opportunity to stop and see yourself. They keep stalling you and putting you in one place so that you can understand the treasured objective, which is to take accountability and responsibility in seeing your reflection. Do you look at yourself in the mirror? Like, seriously, you have a lot of self-doubt and resentment. Lots of self-doubt and resentment. What's next for Foodie Beauty? Chantal, thank you, Spirit. Again, lots of self-doubt and resentment. But there is the King of Blades.
Uh-oh.
Now, this is interesting because...
Uh-oh. Wow, dude.
Again, it's an air sign. Who is an air sign energy? But with the King of Swords, there's an energy...
Okay, Neil, I got to stop for a minute. One of your last readings, you talked about a older man and an older woman. Look what's in the picture. Look what's in the picture. The couple again.
Energy of leadership, going in front of council, them bringing evidence. This is evidence. I do see a glass of water. Let me know that this could be emotional and or could include a water sign. But look at everybody in the background watching as this all goes down. People are going to be watching as this all goes down.
Now, there's water everywhere in this reading. Everywhere.
There's an energy of someone of authority. I always get an older gentleman, King of Swords, coming through to bring forth the evidence.
Oh my.
To let you know what it is. This person is intellectual, ambitious, and a leader.
Oh. And that's exactly what she fears. She fears authority. Chantal walks around thinking that she's got all the authority and all the control. At the same time, she has no self-control, no impulse control. But she is not used to somebody pulling rank on her and listening to people. She has no respect for authority, but it sounds like there's somebody with more rank than Foodie, more authority than her that she's going to have to listen to.
Oh, a card just fell off the table. Let's see what that says. And in the middle of the deck, again, this is going to cripple your finances. Again, with the 5 of coins in reverse, this is your foundation, pentacles. And it just keeps pouring out. It just keeps falling to the wayside. All your hard work. And you have nothing to show for it.
No.
In the middle of the deck, there is also an energy of you having to release and to let go.
Yep.
See, you have to release and let it go. You're not winning.
No.
This doesn't feel like you're winning.
Not at all.
Remember when I said a card fell off the table?
That again?
You like that? You like that candle magic, don't you?
Oh my. Chantal, what are you doing? Why are you playing with things that you have no business playing with? Girl, no. Don't do it. Your life is already troubled. Why are you bringing more trouble? Do you not have enough on your plate? Is it not overflowing? I can't stress this enough to you or anybody else who might watch this video. Dabbling in things is dangerous. And Chantal is a person that she does not seek out proper information and education about things before she jumps into the water. And that leads to more trouble. She is full of dark energy right now, upset energy. And if she's trying to push or pressure or influence somebody using magic, this is bad. This is really bad. You cannot do that, Chantal. You cannot circumvent somebody's sense of free will. No. Even as an initiated witch from a coven will tell you that. Even somebody who's a solitary practitioner will tell you that. That's a big no-no. Stop it. Stop trying to get your way through any means necessary. And stop trying to use the spiritual world to get your way. They don't like it. They don't like it at all.
And so you'll probably try to, put your intentions out there again to see what works, what sticks. But it's around a lot of negative energy. And so, again, when you put negative energy out, you get it back. It's reciprocity.
Yeah, it's a boomerang effect. Whatever you throw out comes back to you. So you're digging your own hole, Chantal. In every way, on every level of yourself, you keep digging the hole deeper. Man, that shovel just never stops working, does it?
Wow. All right. So this reading is alleged and for entertainment purposes. Now we sit back and let the universe do what the universe does.
That was a really great reading, Neo, and I really appreciate you putting it out there. And I'm going to leave a link for your video in the video description. And I encourage everyone to go check out Neo Tarot. Really give her a like, give her a sub, watch her reading on her channel. So I hope you guys enjoyed this react. I just do these for fun. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Enjoy yourself, spend time with family and friends, and do things and go out because the weather is beautiful right now. It's a beautiful day in Oregon. I'm going to go outside and spend time just sitting in the sun and playing with the cat Blackie that comes around my place and just enjoy myself today. So y'all have a good one, and I'll see you later on. Until then, bye.